Hi, welcome to another exciting episode of Angels, Fairies, and Witches. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Laura.
And this is the St. Patrick's Day episode. Happy St. Patrick's Day to one and all.
Yay.
I see you're
Where's my
looking
beer?
resplendent in green.
As you.
As am I. Let's clear up a little thing my producer pointed out about my shirt. It says, Good Witch. But the way I'm sitting, it looks like Odd Itch, which could be substituted with the word bitch. Anyway, I had another t-shirt. It said, you know those buttons, Kiss Me, I'm Irish? And my shirt said, I'm not Irish, but kiss me anyway. But I thought my boobs looked better in this shirt. And it's green. So why don't we start...
And it's a family show.
And it's a family show. Why don't we start with a little history and folklore of how St. Patrick's Day got its origin.
So...
How did St. Patrick's Day get its origin?
That was going to be my next question.
Took the words right out of our mouth. Stop finishing my sentences. Okay, well, I think most people think that St. Patrick was this Irish saint who came into Ireland and drove out all the snakes. Wrong. First of all, St. Patrick, before he became a saint, was a priest, and he was Italian. Why, yes, folks, St. Patrick, maybe he was called Patrico or something, but he was Italian. He was, in fact, sent to Ireland to clear out not the snakes. They say the snakes, but the snakes weren't real snakes. Those were referring to the pagans, the druids, the heretics, the gypsies, the witches,
the people like you.
Exactly, and he was sent to drive out those evil forces, which A, weren't evil, but B, yeah, I think he kind of succeeded in driving most of them out. So that's really how St. Patrick got its name. Next question.
How about shamrocks? Where does shamrock fit into that equation?
Excellent question. The shamrock, as you know, has 3 leaves on it. That actually, and Christians abound, hate the comparison or the connection to witchcraft, but it's true. It actually refers back to some of the goddesses that witches revere, but also Hindus. They have a lot of goddesses, and a lot of pagan and stuff like that refer to certain goddesses. Not all have this, but certain goddesses have the triple goddess aspect. That means they can be 3 things all at once. They can be the young, sweet maiden, they can be the nurturing mother, and then they can be the older, wise, sometimes they'll say crone, but I think that's awful, so matriarch. Triple goddess aspect. Maid, mother, matriarch. And then, of course, Christianity turned it into the shamrock, symbolizing the Holy Trinity of Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Any more questions?
No. It's the end of my...
Well, that's our show for tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Really? That's it? Are you Irish?
Why, yes, I am. A bit. A wee bit.
A wee bit. It's funny because Ireland, although it has been Christianized.
Sounds good. Okay,
Christianized. But they still have, and we're going to get into the whole element of the fairy realm. Any and almost all fairy sightings, I don't know why I quoted that, fairies are very real beings, I quoted it like it was something that wasn't, have been seen in the hills of Ireland. Plus, they all have that lucky Blarney stone, luck of the Irish, leprechaun, so I don't know, maybe some of the snakes stayed behind in Ireland. Speaking of snakes, I know this is not timely at all, but
a ramble?
Yes, it's a ramble. Another Peter Griffin, grind my gears. No, I'm not complaining about anybody today yet. But back in February, every year is the Chinese New Year, and this is the year of the snake. Now, for anybody that knows anything about the Chinese New Year and the horoscope, it's been suggested, if you want to go online or whatever, you put in the year you were born, and up comes one of 12 different animals, depending on the year you were born. And it's really supposed to be, of all the different horoscopes out there, the one that really reflects who you are. I'm really something awful. I'm like the year of the rat or the goat, or what are you?
But I think I'm a snake. But I think that
So do
you
I.
can't.
They don't have year of the pain in the ass.
Stop.
So
You can't go by what the animal it represents, can you? I didn't
What?
think the animal that represents.
I don't think you're the year of the snake.
No?
It's every 12 years. Well, we will have to figure this out.
That was something else we need to consult the calendar for. What was the other one we were going to consult last?
Mercury
episode?
retrograde.
No.
Anyway,
I'll think
okay,
of it.
but so anyway, the year of the snake. Again, just plug in the year you were born, and it'll show you what animal corresponds to. And even something like the rat or the goat or whatever. There's good
Rabbit,
stuff.
yeah, but
Rabbit, horse. I have one son who is the year of the ox, and let me tell you, stubborn as hell. And another one who is the year of the dragon, who's just loud and wild. Acorn didn't fall too far from the tree on that one. But even if you're not born in the year of the snake, because it goes all year long, thereby making this not a ramble, but actually very timely, because it's going to go for the whole year, it affects all of us in different ways. So what does a snake represent? Well, not so much what it represents.
but that's what I'm saying. Does it, in fact, the
It's like-
horoscope corresponds with what you think a snake is?
Absolutely, absolutely. But it's not what a snake is. It's what a snake represents or what they are able to do. For
We should
example,
look that up, too.
well, feel free to go and look it up, and I'm going to finish the show.
Okay.
A snake can shed its skin. So this year, for those of you born in the year of the snake, this is an extremely auspicious year for you. But for the rest of us who are not the year of the snake, this is a wonderful year for shedding that which is old, that which no longer serves our purpose, going forward, trying something new, changing your job, changing your location where you live, changing your attitude, changing your socks.
So what makes you think that I couldn't be a snake, then? I could be changing my...
Okay, we don't have the information. The point is,
Right.
it's based on every 12 years. Okay, now I have a friend who this is the year of the snake, and her birthday is like in 1968. That's why I just don't think you're the snake. But maybe you are. More on that. Or maybe it's one every 15 years. Or I don't know what the cameraman's hand signal was. Maybe he's just saying hello. Hi back at ya, Filthy Rich. Love him, love him. Mwah.
All right.
Someday we need to get him on this side of the camera because he's eye candy, let me tell you. Okay, so along with St. Patrick's Day, last week we showed you a spell that also would have been timely this time, where you would take an amethyst crystal and put it in whatever alcoholic beverage of your choice, and you won't get stinking, fall down, embarrass yourself drunk, because the name crystal means without drunkenness.
Why, yes, so this will be appropriate for St. Patrick's Day, then.
Yeah.
Very timely.
Wasn't going to get into the whole Irish and the drinking thing, but I think there is some validity there.
Oh, there's no doubt.
But also, like I was saying, in Ireland, they, and maybe it's a little closeted. Maybe people don't outright come out and say that they see fairies, believe in fairies, leprechauns, things like that. But, you know, we're going to talk a little bit about fairies in today's episode, and we're going to teach you how to make fairy dust, which is something that we've made on other episodes, but this time it's very timely, although you can make fairy dust anytime. I also wanted to give a shout out to a guy whose birthday is today. Of course, that depends on when this airs. I could be off by a week or two. He is a local politician in Queens. He's a councilman, and his name is Dan Halloran. Now, what do I know about politics?
Nothing.
Nothing. Less than nothing. No reflection on Dan Halloran. I don't really even know Obama's politics. But I will tell you what I know about this man. And FYI, I think he's running for re-election in November. He says what he means. And that's kind of rare for a politician. And he's not afraid to drop the F-bomb from time to time for added punch. But he's mostly in the... Are you writing him a fan letter?
Nope.
Are you playing tic-tac-toe?
Nope.
Okay, want to focus?
I'm focused.
He covers like Bayside and Whitestone and College Point, and you know, he's done a lot of good for a lot of people, so just keep it in mind. And today is around
birthday.
his birthday.
Happy
So happy birthday,
Dad.
Thor. Okay, back to the fairies. I wasn't making any kind of connection there between fairies and Dan Halloran, I swear. Anyway, it's not like me to pull information off the internet, but I did see a few things that I wanted to just briefly read to you because there's so much misconception about the fairies. And we've done shows in the past about fairies and fairy magic, and when I'm done with the nonsense, we'll tell you what the fairies are really about. Okay, so check this out. Some people believe, this is actually called fairy history, that fairies are souls that were never baptized.
What?
They're souls caught between heaven and hell. They've not been good enough to get into heaven, but they're not bad enough to be in hell, so they're in limbo. What? Again? They're fallen angels, and when they went with Lucifer, and they were falling down from heaven, because they weren't, I guess, so super bad, God stopped them midway through, so they ended up on the ground with the rest of us. And, you know, honestly, there's an awful lot more stupidity here, but
They can't write that on the internet.
Well,
I thought everything on the internet was supposed to be true.
have you guys seen that commercial? It's for like a car company or something, but this girl and this guy are talking, and she's convinced that everything that's written on the internet is absolutely true. And then she says, oh, and by the way, here it comes my date. He's a French model. And here's this big old guy with a shirt hanging out and a fanny pack, and he says, bonjour. So, yeah, please. I've read a few things on the internet about witches that, oh, my goodness gracious, just keep watching this show. And on par with that, I know that we're seen on Queens Public Television twice a week, Saturdays and Sundays, and we're on YouTube. And, you know, our wonderful producer always has our phone numbers and our email address. And if you want to contact us, you can do either one, but call us. It's so much easier. By the time we actually get into our email and sort through it, if you have a problem, a question, if you want a reading, she also is an ordained minister and does Reiki. You know, whatever your needs are, call us. And on the phone is the much faster way. You know, sometimes after the shows air, I get a lot of phone calls and people hang up. And if I have the opportunity, I'll call them back. And it's people that are, you know, have a question, or some wonderful people out there that just want to compliment the show. Like, for example, we have a new fan, Albert, loves our show and is all sorts of spiritual and stuff. And Alfreda, who was kind enough when we were doing the episode on Eat, Pray, and Love, and we didn't know where Bali was, she called me after the show to say that Bali was in Indonesia. I just wish she would have mentioned then where Indonesia is. Not good with the geography. I make up for it in other ways.
Yes, you do.
So yeah, anybody out there that you know, don't feel bad about leaving a message. We will get back to you, and the phone is honestly still the easiest way to get a hold of us. So now let's get into what fairies, who they really are, and what they can really do, and then we're going to do an exciting spell. Who are they?
Miniature angels.
Yep. As you know, people think of angels. For the most part, there's those little cherub baby angels. That always freaks me out a little bit. I don't know.
Sometimes they're cute. Sometimes they're creepy.
Well, it's just when you call upon angels, you expect strong presence to protect, to heal, to help. I don't think it comes in the form of a little chubby baby in a cloth diaper with wings. Picture angels however you want. All we want to say is that angels are generally depicted as life-size, if not larger than life-size beings, whereas angels are much smaller.
Fairies are much smaller.
What did I say?
Angels. I'm paying attention.
This episode she
pay
is.
attention every
Okay,
episode.
fairies, much smaller. And what are they in charge of, predominantly?
Nature.
Yes.
Animals. Pets.
But how?
Joy. Oh, how? What are you looking for?
Oh my God! You think this is the first episode, but in reality, this is about our 33rd, 34th episode,
Oh, good
and
Lord.
we are popular. I know that's not the whole point. The point is getting the message out, but
Back to
we are popular.
back to
Fairies.
fairies.
Okay. What they do is, think of it this way. Whereas people are in charge of watching over, helping, and healing people, fairies are in charge of watching over, helping, and healing, like she said, nature. That could be bodies of water, plants, flowers, any kind of animal, wild or domestic. And this is a particularly harsh time for the fairies because people are being so callous and they're just destroying Mother Earth, whether they realize it or not. You know, if you look at a lot of the really bad storms we've been having in years, I think Mother Nature is pissed off. And
I have to say, I think she is too. I agree.
you know, it takes nothing. There's a wonderful spell that you can do if you have a backyard. Otherwise, maybe you could do it in a park, but I'm not sure because privacy is key. That if you have a backyard and, you know, or someplace private, and we always talk about, you know, feeding birds and or getting like a flowers for a butterfly garden. Although I'm a little freaked out by butterflies.
Why?
You don't know this about me?
No, butterflies I didn't
Hetero
know.
life mates for 25 plus years, and she doesn't know this. I don't like flying things. Now, this is nothing
Balloons,
against
I
angels and fairies.
understand, yeah.
I'm terrified of balloons.
Balloons
Believe
I
that?
understand, but
Terrified.
I didn't know about the...
Well, and
Butterfly
the thing, if
connection.
you think about it, I'm a recreation director, and I'm afraid of balloons. That's like a surgeon being afraid of blood. It's really effed up sometimes. It's not that I don't like butterflies. To see them in a field is beautiful, but you know, there are places that you can actually go inside, and there's millions of butterflies, and they fly on you, and okay, I'm getting a little uncomfortable, and I feel my heart racing. Why are we talking about butterflies? Nature.
Nature. Talking about how the fairies...
Okay, all I can think of is butterflies. Change the subject, change the subject. Fairies, what do they do? No, I mean it. I got the willies here.
Okay, so you're talking about how they work through creatures and plants and trees.
Right. So you can have, if you dare, a butterfly garden. You can have plants and homegrown vegetables and stuff like that. You can just not litter. Okay, stop it.
That's probably the best thing that you could do.
Do you know what I saw the other day? When I go to work, I'm on the Van Wyck, and so I get off at a certain exit, and there's always a light, so you know you have to stop there for a few minutes. And there was a car in front of me. Couldn't tell if it was male or female or anything like that. And I see the driver's side door open up, and a big like McDonald's or something bag that probably had a whole bunch of wrappers and stuff thrown to the side. And I swear to God, had the light not turned green at that second and the car took off, I'd have been out of my car and all up in his gear. Isn't that just disgusting? There's, you know, I'm not so crazy about all that Bloomberg does, but there's like a garbage can, public garbage can on just about every street corner.
On the main streets.
On the main streets. Why wouldn't you use that? So, you know, if you can donate to a worthy charity like the wildlife rescue and stuff, if you can use less toxic things, first of all, it's better for yourself and better for the environment. Stop littering. Adopt a pet from a shelter. What else?
In regards to what?
Just
what you can do to help out the
protecting Mother Earth
environment?
and therefore protecting the fairies.
Try to walk more. Use your car less.
So there's this cute little spell that if you believe you can see fairies, then you can. And if you believe you can't, you can't. So if you can go out, this is best done in the warmer months. Right before the break of dawn when there's dew on the grass. And if you have a little saucer of milk, and to that you can add a little bit of organic honey. And if you place it and then maybe step back 10, 15 feet.
They like sweet, right?
Yes, always sweet. And if you
Candy.
kind of
you could
relax
put a piece
your
of candy
eyes,
out there unwrapped. They would like
chocolate
that.
especially,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You will see them, and it's probably not going to be like Tinkerbell exactly, but you'll see little flits of light, and it's so awe-inspiring, and it's so beautiful. And they like to come around people that have similar energy, that are concerned with the environment and you know, preserving Mother Earth and stuff like that.
Greater chance of seeing them, that's for sure. If you're feeding the birds in your yard, or you do have a nice garden with lovely flowers, they'll definitely come around you then.
Right.
Absolutely.
There's another thing on, I don't know if you've ever heard of like crop circles, but sometimes they're referred to, they're those mysterious circles in deep grass.
Right, crop circles.
You want to like get a nail file?
No, crop circles. I'm following the conversation without staring at you and making you uncomfortable.
Then look at the camera. Look at our audience. There's so many of them out there.
Hello.
They'd love to see your beautiful fairy dusted face.
Okay, so you're talking about crop circles.
Right.
Back to the conversation.
Sometimes they're referred to as fairy circles. Sometimes they're referred to as a sorceress's ring. Sometimes they're referred to as a witch's ring. When it has those connotations, they don't mean it in a nice way.
I thought a fairy ring too. Yeah.
Yeah. What a fairy ring scientifically has something to do with mushrooms and the fungus that grows out and into circles. See, look at me, knowing history. But then people will say they have seen the fairies sitting either using the mushroom toadstool as like a dinner table, or some will actually go under it like it's a sunshade, like an umbrella or parasol.
Right.
But they're all over. And then, of course, myths abound that if it's a fairy ring, that's the inner sanctuary where they dance
and party.
And party.
Yep. So if you got a fairy ring in your yard, you got good energy.
Absolutely. Now,
they're taking advantage of it.
Some folklore will tell you that for you to step into it, that if you actually glimpse the fairies, you'll be blinded and, more other crap stuff. But I think exactly what you said, it's very lucky. Also, if you have any wild mushrooms, I don't know how much they really grow here in Queens, but if you have any of those, if you just try to lawnmower it over, it's pointless because it's going to keep coming back. So maybe just instead welcome them and welcome this wonderful bit of luck into your life.
Yeah.
Luck, that's another thing fairies are associated with. And I do believe before you said joy.
Yep.
So we are going to make some fairy dust now. Doesn't that sound exciting?
Sounds wonderful.
Okay, so this is my extremely heavy, you really have no idea, mortar and pestle. Okay, so to this we're going to add, it's actually glitter. Like I always say, Martha Stewart does not need me to, give her a shout out, but she really kind of makes the best kind. If you go to any craft store, you want to get glitter that is fine or extra fine. You're going to be pulverizing it anyway, but, the course.
Less work.
Oh, a lot of work. So because this is March and this is St. Patrick's Day, we're going to you could honestly do any kind of color you want, but think about what it corresponds to, okay? What does green correspond to?
Money.
Money. What else?
Health.
Money and health. And the Irish. Okay, and here we have, I was hoping for more of a yellow color. This is apricot, or as one ex-boyfriend used to call it, apricot. Ignorant asshole. Anyway, what does the color yellow respond to in the heart in the chakras?
Emotions.
Wrongo, pal. Seat of power. There you go. Okay, and no matter what color you use, I always advise that you add just a touch of white because white is universal.
I would have gone with money on all three of them, too.
Are you making this?
No.
Then
I'm
shut up.
saying.
Okay? Now, I have to figure out a way how to grind this without deafening the cameraman. Okay? So, you want to go clockwise because it's what you want to put into the fairy dust. Counterclockwise would be if you are removing anything negative. So, you want to go clockwise and you want to think of some words that, because this is stuff you're going to be wearing on your body. So some words that refer to the fairies and that things you would like to bring into your life. So hit me with your best shot.
Joy, happiness, love, wealth, prosperity, friends.
Popularity, confidence, lust, desire, fun. All right, now there's no amount of time you should do this. I like to do it on a full moon only because I feel the energy is heightened then, but really you could do it anytime. So She's already wearing some fairy dust, but I can't really do this to myself on camera, so will you be my willing subject?
Or do I get to flick you?
No. No. Just
not
close
fair.
The eyes, close the mouth.
It's never fair.
Really close the mouth, okay? You want to take a pinch of this, and you want to just put a little dash. And you want to think about all the wonderful words that you used. I should really just let her stay like that. Yeah, I'm still sprinkling you. So anyway, that is fairy dust. Again, cheap, easy, fun. It attracts conversation. It attracts attention. I hope you enjoyed this. Saying no, we're still going to be talking. So it's St. Patrick.
She doesn't know the signals.
We have been on the air for almost a year, and the signals trip me up a little. So I hope you're celebrating St. Patrick's Day with the god awful corned beef and cabbage, and boiled potato. Come on, a little more originality. Otherwise, there's wonderful cocktails you can have. It's a weekend.
Let them feast.
It is feasting, but.
Yeah.
Come on, people, get out of the 1700s, Have something. And the Irish soda bread. Okay, well, I'm sure there's other very tasty meals.
Don't forget to give us a call at the numbers listed below or email us at angelsfairieswitches@gmail.com.
And also, if you go on the website for our sponsor, A Time for Karma, and you look at special events, there's a bunch of interesting lectures happening, one of which I'm giving. So check us out. Check them out. Check everything out. Check it out. Good night. Have a blessed evening.
Be well.
Hi, we're Michele and Laura from Angels, Fairies, and Witches, and we'd like to take this opportunity to thank one of our sponsors.
We'd like to thank A Time for Karma. It's a metaphysical boutique located in Rockville Center, New York.
For all your witchcraft needs.
It's located at 14th South Village Avenue. And not only do you fulfill your witchcraft needs there, but we get a lot of candles and incense and crystals that we use in